Hello everybody, welcome back to another reading. Today we are looking at the Delphi murders. Somebody requested that in a comment section of a previous video. If you have a request, let me know so I can take a look if I can do anything with it. Sometimes it lands and sometimes it doesn't. In this case, I thought it was very intriguing, so I wanted to make sure to try a reading on this. I didn't watch too much info on it because I didn't want to have too much information buzzing in the back of my head that might influence the reading. What I did hear from one short video, which only mentioned the facts, at least that's what the title said, was that two girls were dropped off by their elder sister, or one of the two elder sisters, and they went about the area, took pictures of themselves in that area. And one of the areas, at least the places that they were at, was a really old bridge, which I think was for a railroad, with really old beams, and was quite dangerous, but people went across it anyway, even though it's supposed to be derelict and people weren't supposed to be there. But they were on there as well. They got a picture at least in that area, and also one of the girls recorded a short clip of a guy that was approaching them, and they must have known something or felt like something was wrong about him. Why else would you just record a very short clip of this one guy? I don't know why the clip is so short, because you would probably film a little longer, I would think, if you were like, hey, this guy's weird. At least I would probably film until I was not able to film anymore, like they literally went and grabbed my phone from my hand or something. Maybe they were just like, oh, I'll just record it real quick just in case, you know, then we'll have some evidence like, it's this guy, I got him on my phone, see? But they weren't too concerned, kind of like that. Either way, so people think that this is the guy who ended up murdering them and doing all sorts of things to them that I don't think we want to talk about here. Not really necessary to do that anyway. And they ended up being found in a forest, and people are trying to figure out who this guy is. Now, the interesting part is that they had a composite sketch based off of that video initially, and I hadn't even seen that first composite sketch yet. Because first I saw the video, then I saw the sketch, and I was like, yeah, that looks kind of like what I saw. And then there was another composite sketch released sometime after that, which looked nothing like them, so I'm not really sure where that came from. Also, they said that the age range was going to be somewhere between 18 to 40, something like that. What I saw in the video definitely didn't look 18, it's more like 40 plus. But then this afternoon I was thinking about it on my way home. I was like, wait, sometimes the police do things and say things that don't make a lot of sense, but there's like a strategy behind it. And I was thinking maybe the first composite sketch is too much like the person. Maybe the police have an idea who it is and they don't want this person to flee or be onto them, and that's why they released another composite sketch and gave this wide age range that could include just about anybody in the entire area. Like, that might give this perpetrator a sense of calm, like, oh, they're not looking for me because this guy looks nothing like me, that looks like somebody else, or a whole bunch of people, because it's a very generic looking face. So that's just a thought that I had. But in any case, we're not going to focus much on that right now. We're going to use the Crow Tarot, which is very good for messages from beyond, so to speak, because it's a crow-inspired deck. And crows, of course, were traditionally seen as the messengers for the dead. They're also referred to as eye drinkers, or at least what they did was referred to as eye drinking, because after a combat with a field full of corpses, you would see the crows come down, and one of the first things they would do is peck the eyes out and clear them out of the gel that's inside the eye, because that's what they like, apparently. They really like that, I guess, the juicy part of the eye. Pretty gross, but, you know, people used to think that that meant that the crows would be able to see the things that the person's eye had last seen. So they knew stuff, and that's why I like to grab the Crow Tarot for readings about people who have passed away and things surrounding them. If I want to clarify anything, I'll grab my Deviant Moon Tarot deck, which has cards like this. Now, the Deviant Moon Tarot deck, always strikes me as the Moon card in the Standard Tarot Major Arcana, but then an entire deck, because it tends to shine light on things that are currently hidden. And that is why I prefer to use it, in particular in cases where people are trying to hide things and we just want to know what's being hidden. I think the Deviant Moon is a good deck for that. Had to take a quick break there because the dog decided to walk around the room for some reason. Don't know why, but okay, she's settled down now. Always makes a lot of noise because she has long nails and my floor is made of wood. Great. Anyway, so as I've said in previous videos, I am an intuitive reader. That means I read the cards as the information comes to me based on what I'm seeing. And that might mean that you see a slightly different meaning of the cards that are being displayed or will be displayed soon. And make sure to let me know that in the comment section. If you see something that you think is interesting that should be added to what is already being displayed here, make sure to let me know. And of course, I like reading your comments anyway, so if you have some type of opinion, let me know that as well. Like I said, we're going to start with the Crow Tarot, and once I've got a spread here, I'm going to clarify it with the Deviant Moon deck, and we're just going to see what we can get. So let's first try to focus on this guy. Let's see if we can get anything on him. Okay, that's quite a lot. Came pretty quickly. Alright, let's first of all go through them individually. We have here the Five of Swords reversed. As you can see, that's like an internal conflicts. Over here we have the Ten of Swords reversed. Normally upright I read this as darkest before the dawn, but reversed I see this as an unwillingness to actually see the positive in a situation, so they're kind of stuck. We also have Death here, and I wasn't quite sure if it needs to be upright or reversed, but I'm feeling that even though I put it upright, it might be an inability to let go, because Death is normally like ending one situation, moving on to a new chapter, so it might be a little bit of both. Like he's unwilling to let go of one thing, but he has stopped and moved on to do something else. Maybe, I don't know, like there's certain things, certain themes in his life that I'm seeing also in this back row that have shaped him to be who he is, and I think there are certain things that he wants to do differently, has done differently, maybe based upon this here reversed Empress over here. I feel like this is the mother. I think since it's reversed that he did not have a great relationship with the mother, also because the first card that came after that was this reversed Six of Cups, and Six of Cups is usually like this is a 6, right? Yeah, it is, before I say it incorrectly. It's usually a childhood thing, and upside down next to the reversed Empress makes me feel like he had a difficult mother, difficult upbringing. Knight of Wands is also reversed. I think this has led to him making some hasty and incorrect decisions. And here we got some heartbreak and loss of harmony right next to that, with the Three of Swords and the Four of Wands. Three of Swords upright and Four of Wands reversed. Once again, harmony lost, and maybe some adultery in whatever relationship he has had. And over here we have the Six of Wands in reverse. Now usually when it's upright, you see that the crow up there, he's like, I don't know, like the winner of the situation, if you want to call it that. People really admire him, blah, blah, blah. But I think that we're dealing with somebody who is, I wouldn't really want to say it, but it is the first word that came to mind. He's a bit of a loser because he doesn't have a great upbringing. He's got a lot of damage from that. He's done a lot of bad things, had some disharmony over here. So this is somebody who's really fallen outside of society. At least internally, he may appear to be a functioning person in society. I don't know, but this is what I'm seeing. Like he's had a really bad upbringing, and with people who tend to go out and murder innocents, you always tend to see something like that. So it's not necessarily a surprise. But if you were to look for somebody, look into their past, how their relationship was with their parents, I'm guessing that she's no longer with us. The Death card, I feel, is also kind of connected to that. Like it could be what comes to mind is somebody who was really dominated by their mother. And then she died. And then this death card over here signaled that the death, I think literally, but also letting something go. And in his case, maybe everything that she tried to block him from doing in the past. I don't know, just like she may have been controlling him in the past, and then with her death he was able to let her go, but also whatever it is that she did to control him. And then he went really off the rails because then there was nobody to come home to ask him what he had been doing all day long and make him feel guilty about stuff. That's kind of what I'm getting here. That's an interesting first spread, at least I think so. It offers quite a lot, but this is just the person himself. Now I'd like to know about him and the girls, what that interaction was like, why he even did it. So I'm going to grab my trusty Deviant Moon and see if we can get anything about that. Maybe also if we can get anything about his current, I wouldn't say whereabouts, more like what is he doing. But let's first focus on him meeting the girls and what we can learn about that. Just a quick note, by the way, the Chariot reverse came out. I've always kind of looked at this guy as though he's in a wheelchair, so that's like upright, he would be moving a lot. But when I watched the video yesterday and he was walking across the bridge, they did mention in the little press conference afterwards that he may walk a little differently because he's walking on those beams that are probably a little bit loose, and you gotta be careful, etc. But still, I thought I saw that he was limping even though he was walking across the beam. So there's a certain way that a person walks who has maybe lost part of a limb and now has like a prosthetic. They have like a certain way they pull up their hip in order to pull up the lower leg a bit higher than you normally would, because there's no muscle in there to contract and pull the lower leg upwards so it avoids hitting other things. And also part of the pants on the right leg creased around the knee, which normally doesn't happen when you actually have a knee in there. So I was like, that's interesting. So now I'm pulling this Chariot reversed, so I'm thinking we might be looking at a one-legged man somehow. That's the impression I got in any case. Just wanted to pause and quickly say that before we get the rest. Oh, here we got a whole stack. Let's see if we need all of these or just a few, because I can't have everything, I think. I don't think we need all of these. We need that one. And those guys. Okay. Who else do we have here? Alright. Carrying a lot of weight. Maybe the burden. And this is the 7 of Wands. Alright. And we have the 7 of Pentacles reversed. Interesting. Put that over there. Let's see if we can get anything else, because we still have space. Okay, so far we got their Chariot reversed, so he's like moving slowly, or he is slowing them down, slowing himself down, don't really know, but there is definitely a burden here, combined with still looking at the troubled walking. This 7 of Wands here, oh, can't really see the 10 of Wands, I'll grab it, here you go. Very burden looking guy, lamp is shining right on him. We have the 7 of Wands here, which is usually like being lost but finding your way out. As you can see, the person is trying to get through a whole bunch of these wands, and then hey, suddenly there's a clear space, we can go out now. So maybe he approached them claiming that he thought they were lost and he would help them, quote unquote, find their way back, because I don't think they were lost. Pretty sure, well, they knew how they got where they were. The bridge only goes one way back or forth, so it can't be that difficult to find your way. And they had phones. I'm pretty sure this was 2017, so I'm pretty sure they had Google Maps and all that sort of thing. But maybe he went and pretended to want to help them out, because he did approach with a "hey guys," which is like a "hey, I'm a friend," you know, when you say something like that. Anyway, so here we have the reversed Seven of Pentacles, which is always like ill investment. And maybe they did trust him momentarily at least. Now this Eight of Pentacles here is usually like a focused work. Somebody's really focusing on something. There's an obsessiveness almost to their work. And he may, like we've seen previously, had some type of issues in the past that make him specifically interested in some very dark things. And perhaps he has been thinking about this. And maybe this was the moment where he actually decided to carry out all the stuff he had been planning and working hard on. And then we have the reversed Four of Swords. Now, the Four of Swords is usually taking a break. And I'm not really sure if this is like the aftermath for him. Because it's reversed, and that would mean not taking a break. At least that's what I would think. Yeah, I think that is definitely invigorated from the experience. Like, he's definitely not chilling. He's ready to take on the world. He got like a new energy out of this. So I think after all of this, it was like a completion of the thing he had been focusing on for a long time. All his ill investments coming out to give him lots of energy. That's pretty creepy, and it may also be fairly important to notice that somebody is suddenly a lot happier after that date when these girls disappeared. Somebody changed their demeanor. People do tend to act very differently after they've committed a crime. It can be different for everybody, of course, but if you know somebody who kind of looks like that and after that date they acted differently, maybe not in a way that you would describe as guilt, but it might be a sign that there's definitely something up. Anyway, we still have some space. Let's see if we can get anything more. Like, what exactly happened there? Another Five of Swords. And again, reversed. We started off with that again, so we're not going to go back into that. I got lots of cards here. Hang on. Too much. Alright. We got a whole bunch. There's this one. This is the Four of, again, another Four of Wands reversed. Alright, we're getting lots of repeats. And this is the Eight of Wands, also reversed. Now, the Eight of Wands is always like kind of working hard, kind of battle weary, I guess. But they're reversed, or they're working on the wrong thing. Kind of reminds me of this focus card right here. Like, they're investing in the wrong thing, they're also working on the wrong thing, at least for society's sake. The wrong thing. This is the Six of Swords reversed. Didn't we also have that already? Let's see now. Five, we have the Five, yes. We have lots of swords, but I don't think the Six has been here yet. Okay, so there's this one. I'll put you over here for a second, running out of space. But okay, here we go. So this is one of the reasons why we like the Deviant Moon deck. The moon reversed shows that things are going to come to light. I think that strategy that I was talking about, I think they are actually trying to do something with that. And it's going to work out eventually. It's only been 3 years, and sometimes people think that's a long time, but there have been cold cases for much longer than that, and I think we will definitely see a resolution. The Hierophant over here, I think, is going to represent law enforcement making a move. So I think law enforcement knows more than they're letting on. They're purposely leaving stuff out of the media to make sure that the person who did it doesn't, I don't know exactly what they know. And of course, copycats can come in and say, yeah, I did it because it was X, Y, and Z, and then X, Y, and Z is something they heard off the news. Because that also happens. For some reason, people sometimes claim that they've done things when they haven't. And sometimes very serious things, so I don't know why that would be a thing. Alright, so Temperance over here is reversed. I think that means, combined with the Moon reversed over here, the reason why we're going to learn more about it and why the strategy is going to pay off is because they're going to lose their temper somehow. They're going to start talking. Temperance is all about balancing out and making sure that you do the right thing, taking the like a weighed decision, make sure that you're doing the right thing, thinking carefully about your next step is what I'm trying to say. And I think he's going to slip up. That's what Temperance is saying over here. Put you over here. I just want to quickly figure out why we have the... Oh wait, this is the Seven of Swords. Oh, I read it as 6, but Seven of Swords is a lot easier to place. This is basically fooling and manipulation, and with words, because the sword represents speech. And I think he's going to end up saying things that are going to incriminate him, and there'll be things that people don't know, the public doesn't know, and that's why the police are not talking about them on the news. He's going to say things that only the perpetrator would know. I think that's what the Hierophant's going to end up picking up, because I'm pretty sure they're already watching him. He's probably known. Like I said, they probably changed that image to a new composite sketch because they know who the guy is and they don't want him to be alarmed, so they can work on their case quietly without him running away. So I think he's going to end up saying something. They're like, hey, because he is next to the Hierophant here. The Hierophant's going to hear that he said something. Somebody's going to tell them, because I'm pretty sure other people already know or have suspicion that it's this guy. And because his behavior is going to be altered, which we saw over here. Oops, let me just try grabbing that real quick. His behavior is going to be different. He's going to be invigorated for a sword reversed, remember? He's going to talk about it, and eventually he's going to end up saying things that are getting him trapped. So we will, as far as I can see here, see a resolution. I don't know exactly what time we're looking at, like how much, because this is the 7, but I don't tend to read that as literal months, weeks, or years, because that's a little bit too specific, I would think. I don't know of a timeline, but I think eventually he's going to end up talking, and this could take a long time. But like I said, some cold cases are 20 years or more, and even though it may take a long time, I think eventually we're going to hear him say things that he probably shouldn't have if he wanted to stay anonymous, but will be better for everybody involved, so they finally know and have some peace. So that is all I can see about the Delphi murders case. Hope you enjoyed that. Hope it taught you something. Well, not taught you something. That you found it interesting. Let's put it that way. And if you have any other suggestions for other readings, make sure to leave that in the comment section below if it's interesting and I feel a connection to it. And if it's like a true crime case, I'm probably very likely to do it. But I'll make sure to make a reading about that in the future. Leave your comments in the comment section below and leave a like if you could, because that helps also push these videos towards other people who might like to watch things on my channel. And bye bye for now.